Hello everyone and welcome back to another economics video. Today we are going to be solving our worksheet 2.2. So specifically we're going to be walking through how to calculate percentage changes in the CPI, how to deflate some prices, and specifically applying it to tuition. So we'll go over the first half of the worksheet in this video and we'll do the second half on another video. So I suppose this is worksheet 2.2a since we're covering the first half. Awesome, let's jump right in. So the first part of the problem lists a bunch of different CPIs, right, consumer price indices, for the years between 2005 and 2009. And we are first asked, what is the percentage change from the previous year? So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so we can show some of our work. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the CPI from the new year, right? So this is 2009. We're going to subtract from that the CPI from the old year. So this is just a standard new minus old over old percentage change. And we're going to divide the whole thing by the CPI of the old year. We multiply this by 100 to get a percent. And so what does this look like? Well, our CPI for 2009 we know is 215.949. So let me just get this a little smaller. So we know it's 215.949. There's no decimal before it, right? You can only have one decimal. And we're going to subtract from that 210.228. And we're going to divide all of that by 210.228. And then we're going to times everything by 100. So putting this in our calculator, gives us a difference of 5.721. And we're going to divide that by 210.228. And then we're going to multiply that by 100. And we end up with 2.72%. Positive. We don't need to put positive. It's just by default positive, right? If it was negative, we would definitely need to put negative. Sometimes prices do fall, as we saw in class during the CPI data for the Great Depression, right? Okay, let's keep on working. So calculating the CPI, the percentage change difference of the CPI between 2008 and 2007 would be something like this: CPI 2008 minus CPI 2007 all over CPI 2007 times 100. So again, we're going to do that same process. We're going to take that new value, the 2008 value, 210.228. We're going to subtract the old value, 210.036. And then we're going to divide by 210.036 and multiply all that jazz by 100. So we'll walk through this one, and then I'll just give the rest, the answers for the rest, and I implore you to check your answers. Try to do these on your own. So it should be just some simple arithmetic at this point, if you were unaware of how to do this stuff before. So the difference that we end up getting here is 0.192. We're going to divide that by 210.036. We're going to multiply that quotient by 100. And we end up with 0.09%. So almost no inflation that year, right? The prices grew at pretty much an insignificant rate. Now, calculating the rest of these is just taking this same formula and just plugging it in for these other values. So I'll go ahead and I'll do the math part. So this one is going to be 210.036 minus 201.8. Divide that whole thing by 201.8, multiply by 100, and we end up with 4.08%. We'll do a similar thing here. This is the last one. We can't actually calculate this one. Why can't we calculate this one? Because there's no data for 2004. So in order to calculate the inflation rate for 2005, we would need some data for 2004, which we are not given. So ultimately, we don't need to do this calculation. So we just have one last calculation left, and so it's going to be 201.8 minus 196.8, all divided by 196.8. Multiply that by 100, and we end up with 2.54% positive. So I hope that those are clear now after walking through them. If they're not, please email me or let me know during class, and I will provide some more practice for us to do. All right, moving right along. Remember, you can always pause and rewind in the video. So then we're asked, well, using CPI data above, let's find the missing value. So this is where it starts to get tricky. So in order to find the value of a $2009 in 2008, we actually need to divide the 2008 CPI by the 2009 CPI. So we have $2008, but in terms of we have 2008 values, but in terms of $2009. And so we know what these numbers are from above, right? We know that the 2008 CPI is 210.228. We know that the 2009 CPI is 215.949. And so we end up with a dollar, that same dollar, if we back it up a year, is worth less. Now let's try to go ahead and continue this. So this is going to be 2007 CPI divided by the 2008 CPI. And so these CPIs were very similar, right? It was like 210 point something, and then 210.228 and 210.036. So this is going to be really close to So I made a mistake. What is the mistake that I made? Because I was just about to say, this is going to be really close to 1, but it shouldn't be really close to 1. What is the mistake that I made? I made the mistake of the fact that this should not be 2008 CPI here, right? Because we're talking about the value of a $2009. So this should be 2009 on the bottom here. Apologize. So we get 210.2, let's go to the right colors, 228, and then we divide by that same 215.949, which gives us 97 cents again. All right, let's do this one more time. So with 2006, we're going to take the 2006 CPI. We're going to divide it by the 2009 CPI, which is going to give us, what's 2006 again? 201.8 divided by 215.949, and this is going to give us 0.93. The last one, you should end up with 0.91 cents. Okay, so this is, all well and good, but the second column is really the column that we're looking for. That's the column that we're going to use to deflate the cost of tuition in part 3. So this is the value of $1 in 2009 dollars. So this new unit is $2009. So the units over here were all the dollar value in their respective year. This is going to be, the units is going to be $2009. So this is what we do almost always in economics. This is just an exercise to show the flip side of it, if that makes sense. So the value of $1 in 2009, to calculate this, we are going to use the 2009 CPI, which is, well, let's make it comprehensive here. So this is going to be 2009 CPI divided by the 2008 CPI. And so this is just the flip of the other one, right? So it's 215.949, just the inverse, over 210.228. And we end up with 1.03. So the value of $1, of $1 in terms of 2009 dollars, is $1.03 in 2008. So let's keep on going. So for the value of $1 and $2009 for 2007, we would still take that 2009 CPI, and we would divide by the 2007 CPI now. So we end up with 215.949 divided by 210.22, nope. Yeah, 210.228. Nope, 0.036. I was like, wait a second. So this should be 0.036. And this should also be, this is 2007 over here. So this should also be 0.036. I apologize for that. If you caught that as you were following along, excellent job. So this is going to give us $1.03 as well. Just as before, we'll do one more. So this is going to be the 2009 CPI over the 2006 CPI, and so this is going to be 215.949 divided by 201.8, and this is going to give us 1.07. So continuing this trend, we find that the value of $1 in 2009 dollars 4 years ago is 1.09. Yeah, so might be 1.10 depending on how you round. Okay, now that we've got that handled, let's go ahead and do our last part of this first worksheet and finish up this video, and I'll make another video for the flip side. So, first thing that we're asked to do is we're asked to deflate the tuition amounts into $2009. Well, the first one's easy, right? In terms of, since the first one is in 2009, the first one is kind of cheap, right? It's just going to be that same amount. All right. Now, figuring out what the rest of them are is going to be a little different. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to divide by the GDP deflator.